Bitcoin, crypto, everything's kind of pulling back a bit on some macro news scare yesterday. We're going to talk about the macro news that's freaking everybody out. We're going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, some charts you need to know, some Ethereum news, Solana news. We got a lot coming, so we better get straight into this. So, first and foremost, the PPI. I know what you think. Not the PPI, Lark. Oh, man. What the fuck is the PPI? The PPI is the money the purchasers pay for shit, okay? That then floods down later consumers. So the fear of US PPI coming in at 3.3% above expectations of 2.5% is that in a month or two, we're going to see CPI readings spike up and inflation news get bad, and therefore the Fed not cut the effing rates, pouring more fuel on the fire for our risk assets to go to the moon. Your dog coins, aka, are gonna suffer, okay? What's interesting is Truflation responded to my comment here with this, showing that what's quite fascinating here is that over the past months, services have been driving the numbers. In July, goods and services increased compared in June. So goods went up less, services are going up more. Over the last 12 months, we've seen goods actually under the 2% target. So, you know, your eggs and stuff like that. Whereas services have been a lot hotter. Okay? Interesting. Primarily trade services doing this. So, fascinating to see those numbers come through like that. We'll see how the CPI looks next month, okay? Kyle here saying CPI good, PPI bad. PMI, which is the Purchasing Manufacturers Index, also bad. But the DXY, good. Dollar is falling. He said macros is a bunch of three-letter abbreviations, numbers determined by old, rich, white dudes, and those numbers dictate if my family will have generational wealth or not. WTF simulation is this? Yeah, I know, man. Byzantine General saw the situation. Yesterday's CPI was surprisingly good, which made the entire market instant pump since a rate cut was at 99% for September. But today's PPI was surprisingly bad, ruining the chances of a rate cut. Now, it doesn't mean the rate cut won't come, but it's definitely one of those things that, well, Jerome Powell's going to look at it and go, you know, guys, I know the CPI's come down, but look at the core CPI. Look at the PPI. It's a problem. Tariffs are going to bring everything up and inflation's going to go crazy again. I can't cut rates even though the labor markets are weakening. Cut the rates, Jerome. Come on, man. Throw us a bone here. Charles Edwards sharing this one. He said, shut the front door. Yesterday's institutional Bitcoin buying represents 75% of Coinbase's volume. All readings above 75% have seen higher prices 1 week later. Fascinating. That's actually really interesting. Because you got this pullback happening today, and everyone's freaking out, man. And yet, if this proves to be true once again, Bitcoin goes higher next week. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Maybe this, he posted this on August 13th, by the way. So maybe our push up to 124.5 or whatever we got up to the other day. Maybe that was it. We'll see. Decode Jar, Bitcoin weekly view. Unusual little flat top forming across the last 6 weeks, but the larger trend is still up. M2 is still tracking higher. Macro is getting close to flipping green. Don't fall into crypto Twitter trading trap. Be positioned. Be patient. This chart down at the bottom here, this is the chart. And then they look at the red histograms down at the bottom here, the red bars at the bottom. We have basically, this is the macro trend oscillator. We have basically been in a situation where for the last few years, the macro has not supported intense growth for crypto assets. The liquidity and stuff has been there, and obviously we've seen Bitcoin do well, and there's been various situations around that, but overall, we haven't flipped green on this in a very, very long time. When this flips green, that will be the acceleration moment for the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin right now at 117.6 approximately, just sitting right on this uptrend line that you can see just here. After reaching our new high at 124.5, we absolutely cratered in price, down by about $5,000 in one single daily candle yesterday. Good times. Apparently the market really, really cares about PPI inflation and its potential effects for CPI inflation and the Fed not cutting rates anytime soon. Yeah. Anyway, Interesting spot for Bitcoin right now. If it can hold the 20-day EMA and this uptrend line, let us see. That's $17,500 currently. Interesting risk reward area based on those two ideas there, with an easy invalidation point down here at like 116.5, something like that. Fail to hold there, and the 50-day EMA comes into focus real soon. And of course, our key area of price support is down here around $112,000 for Bitcoin. If you get a pullback that far, probably a bid spot. Now, if you're trading these cryptocurrency markets, that's you. Need a good place to do it at. That good place is BitUnix, okay? Here's the deal. No KYC, no VPN. Trade literally from anywhere, okay? That's you. You can trade anyone, anywhere. And when you use my link, exclusively right down below here, okay? Go check it out. When you use that link, this is a limited time offer, by the way, you'll go straight to VIP level 3, which means you get 30% off of your fees. You'll get up to $40 in deposit bonus, so you get $1,000 deposited, you get $200 back. $2,000 deposited, you get $400 cash money back in your account. That's crazy, of course, and huge trading bonuses. You can see how big these trading bonuses are here. Huge trading bonuses, lots of cash back that can come your way. So go check it out. Link down below. Okay, so Bitcoin Archive. SEC Chair Paul Atkins says he aims to make America the Bitcoin and crypto capital of the world, and you're going to fade that. Okay, the president's all in on crypto. The new SEC chair, dude's in on crypto. He said, yes, let's make America the Bitcoin and crypto capital of the world. Oh, yeah, Top's probably in. Should probably short everything and watch as it all goes to zero. No, time is running out here, guys. You see the big picture, what's happening. Yeah, okay, short term there are problems, and the economy still has some issues in it, okay? I get it. And a lot of people freaked out too yesterday when Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said, well, America's not going to be buying any Bitcoin. Like, yeah, they told us that at the start. They told us that as soon as they made the strategic reserves, they said, we're not going to be buying any Bitcoin, and keep the Bitcoin that we have, and then we'll find budget neutral ways to get it, which could be things like selling gold for Bitcoin as an example. So they're not going to print new money to buy it. They're not going to take your tax money and buy Bitcoin, but they'll take, like, sell off $1 billion from the strategic cheese reserve. There is really a strategic cheese reserve, and use that strategic cheese reserve money to buy Bitcoin. Just got to find who wants to swap $1 billion worth of Bitcoin for cheese, man. Trade of the century. Tom Dunleavy, $27 billion in dry powder across digital asset treasury companies has been earmarked to buy more ETH. That's almost 6 million Ethereum, or 5% of the total supply. A third of all ETH currently sitting on exchanges. Said, you're not long enough. Holy crap. That's crazy, man. DeFi Investor says 3.4% of Bitcoin supply has been bought by treasury companies for assets like ETH. The huge buy pressure from treasury companies that just started a few weeks ago. That's the thing. ETH treasury company buy pressure just started, and there's already $27 billion more than what's already been bought committed to buy more ETH, which when that money gets deployed will mean that about 6% of all Ethereum or something like that is held in treasury companies versus 3.4% of BTC in treasury companies. The ETH treasury company trade is still very much intact and will take us up to our next local peak around 7K or something like that. First attempt at a breakout being to new all-time highs for ETH failed. That's okay. We'll get it next time or the time after that. Well, eventually we'll get there. Solana treasury companies, of course, lagging behind. That won't be forever either. Got more news on Solana in a second. Another day, another $600 million of ETH bought by SharpLink Gaming. They now have 728,000 ETH. Let's F and go. Of course, I own SharpLink stocks. I own BitMine stocks. I think those ETH treasury companies are going to do very well. Tom Lee and Joe Lubin. Yeah, we're going to buy like $20 billion more over ETH. Everyone in social media. Tops in when they cut rates in September. No, we're going higher. Price of ETH right now around $4,500 after, so close, man. We came within like $50 or something of a new all-time high for ETH, but those are all-time high breaks. That's typical, man. You rarely see the price just rally in a straight line, smash right through all-time highs, go up to some ridiculous price target. It doesn't usually work like that. Okay, people target previous all-time high as a place to put in their take profit orders, man. People sell into that because they know a lot of time these all-time high break attempts don't work out the first time. You got to grind through it. Okay, now we're in our grind through it phase. As I keep mentioning, any moves back down to $3,800 to $4,000 probably buy zones for ETH if you missed the initial move up. Okay, Solana. Someone calls CNBC. Public companies are quietly turning Solana into a treasury asset and earning yield while they do it. 1% of the supply of Solana has been bought so far. 8 entities tracked so far. The 1,000 plus Solana in their treasury multi-sector from mining to big pharma. Yes. And Arthur Hayes, of course, joining Upexi, which I think is the current largest holder of Solana as a treasury company asset. They're going to buy more. Okay. 6% of the Ethereum supply already has commitments for buying it. Solana is going to get 5 to 10% of its supply bought up by treasury companies in the coming 6 months, let's say, okay? Don't fade it. SEC acknowledges an amendment filing for the Grayscale Spot ETF, but delays decisions for the Spot Solana ETF application, including VanEck, Canary, Bitwise, and 21 shares. Solana is the next ETF. It's not if, when. That's the question. When does it happen? When we get a Solana ETF, I think it's going to be very popular. Look at the ETH ETF, okay? We're going to get treasury companies. We're going to get a main character. Maybe it's Arthur Hayes. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's some Wall Street character is going to show up and say, hey, we're the Solana guys now, and we're going to get out there and shill Solana relentlessly every single day like Tom Lee is for Ethereum, right? We'll get a Solana treasury company main character. We'll get Solana ETFs. The inflows are going to happen, and remember, Solana is only a $100 billion asset, not even, I think, today. And therefore, when we see money start flowing in, it's going to have an outsized impact. If they buy $5 billion, I mean, think about this. There's $27 billion committed to buy more Ethereum. If that were committed to buy Solana, that would buy almost a third of the supply at the current price, okay? The money's out there, and it'll find its way to Solana. Currently, though, Solana is pulling back after making a failed attempt to break out from beyond this orange line. Remember, I was talking about this the other day. Breakout trade was at 205, but you needed to wait for the daily candle to confirm. We did not get a daily candle confirmation of the price above this area. We got a wick. It pulled back down. Cruising back down currently to around 180 bucks. That's 28 EMA and the uptrend line. That would be a place to get in for a limit order if you get the bounce there. Okay, watch out for that. Dog with hat. Currently in the process of losing the trend line. Not fantastico, is it? We see Pengu has lost its short-term support trend line here as well. Currently trading just under that. 50-day EMA now in sight at 3 cents. Dog with hat, similar situation. Trend line currently, if we bounce here, it'll be fine. But if we move down any further, then start to put in those next areas of interest, let's say, for price. Depends on how, of course, the current sell-off goes. This zone right here probably becomes pretty interesting around sort of 80 to 81 cents approximately. But we'll see how the move goes overall. We do have a daily EMA 2050 bearish crossover happening here for the dog with the hat. Of course, they put the hat on the dog here, guys. So if that confirms, you can see last time it happened right around the bottom of the move. So let's see how we play this out over the next few days. If this holds us support, or if we come back down to this area or lower. And of course, Bonk also sitting right at a key support zone right now. Obviously, if this ended up being a great, nice, double bottom here, that'd be fantastic. Just do that and do that and do this. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Let's see. We need to hold above about 0.000023 here. If we start closing the price below that, it becomes relatively problematic in my opinion. Now, that being said, MACD is now below the zero line, so when we get a MACD bullish crossover, which is currently not looking like that's going to happen in the next few days, okay? When we do get a bullish MACD crossover, that's going to be a big spark. That's going to send the price raging higher. I've been building a position into Bonk recently and think that it's got a great potential for running at some point. It's the Pump Fun meme coin launchpad competitor, okay? And it's got much better vibes than Pump Fun. Pump Fun's just been a cancer to the space, hasn't it? So, hey, bonk to the moon. Let's go. There's your updates for today. There's your TA for the day. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time. As always, thanks for spending a few minutes with me talking crypto, and I'll see you back in the next one. Peace.